All right, today we're going to talk about a really powerful idea. It's not just about earning money or even saving it. It's about designing a system for your wealth. Welcome to Capital as Code.
So let me just start with a question for you. What if your money could just work on its own? Invest, grow, compound, all by itself, without you having to think about it every day, without relying on your discipline, or even you remembering to do it. That's the core idea we're going to unpack here.
Now, to get there, we first have to wrap our heads around a foundational concept, and that is leverage. Put simply, leverage is all about breaking that direct link between your time and your results. It's how you generate value even when you're not, actively clocking in hours. And leverage really breaks down into four main types. You've got the traditional ones, labor, that's hiring people, and capital, which is putting your money to work. Both are super powerful for sure, but they both require you to get someone else's permission to use them. But then you have the new forms of leverage, code and media. And the huge difference? They're permissionless. You don't need to ask anyone for permission to write some code or create a piece of content. And the best part? They can scale to millions of people for basically zero extra cost. That is an absolute game changer.
And because of that incredible scaling power, modern wealth strategies are more and more being built around code and media. These are the levers that let you get that exponential growth without having to go through the old gatekeepers.
Okay, so that brings up a really important question. If code is so powerful, what's wrong with good old-fashioned capital? I mean, it's been the bedrock of wealth for centuries. Why does it need an upgrade?
Well, here's the flaw. The way we traditionally manage capital relies completely on us, on our totally unreliable human systems, right? We have to remember to invest. We need the willpower not to spend that little bit of extra cash. And let's be honest, those things fail us all the time.
And this is where the whole idea really clicks into place. Capital as Code is the solution. It's a strategy that perfectly merges the old-school power of capital with the new-school permissionless leverage of code, and you end up with something way more powerful.
The whole philosophy behind this is captured in this one line. You stop treating your money like a pile of cash you have to manually move around. Instead, you treat it like an API, an application programming interface. You just give it a set of rules, a program, and it executes those rules perfectly, every single time, without fail.
So the end goal here is to build what we can call a zero willpower system. It's a financial machine that works perfectly without you having to be perfect. The system itself has all the discipline, so you don't have to.
Okay, so how does this actually work? It's really just a simple four-step flow. First, some income arrives. That's your trigger. Second, an automation rule that you've already set up just runs instantly. It's like an if this, then that command. Third, the money gets allocated exactly where you told it to go. And finally, that's it. Your system is just working for you, humming along in the background. Let's make this super concrete with an example. Say you run an online business. The trigger is any time a sale happens. So you set up a simple rule. You can do this in most modern banks or with automation tools that just says, if a sale comes in, then automatically send 5% of it straight to my investment account. And here's the beautiful part. That 5% never even touches your main account. It completely bypasses your conscious brain. The part of your brain that might think, ooh, I could use that for something else. The right financial move is made for you, automatically, by the system you designed. And I really want you to get this part because it's so important. This is way more than just a clever little financial tactic. It's a fundamental shift in how you think about yourself and your relationship with money. It really comes down to two different roles. On one side, you have the manual laborer. This person is relying on their own discipline, manually moving money around and just hoping they succeed. But on the other side, you have the architect. The architect designs an automated system, sets the rules one time, and then just lets the system run. They're not hoping for success. They're guaranteeing it by design. So what's the big payoff here? Well, it's massive. First, you're truly leveraging code to manage your capital, which means your wealth is compounding while you sleep. And second, you've essentially built a financial guardrail. You've designed a system where it's almost impossible to fail at saving because you've automated the choice to succeed. And look, if there's one thing you walk away with today, let it be this. With capital as code, building wealth is no longer an active daily struggle that relies on your discipline. It becomes a passive, default function of a system that you designed. It just happens. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Once you've become the architect of your own financial system and you've automated it for success,
What other areas of your life could you apply that same thinking to? What else could you guarantee just by designing a better system?